model driven or reactive forms. So model driven form is set up and configured in component class. And the model driven forms are based on reactive style of programming where you use the underlying APIs in Angular like form control and form group that track the values and validation status. So whatever the validation we applied on a form control, so these are tracked by the form control here. So if you will see in the diagram, we have the form group. So form group we are defining at the form tag, and the form control we are defining at our input control. So in a form group, we might have more than one control for defining our form. So in this way, we are defining here the model driven form. And the model driven form offers the ease of testing and validation because our logic is placed on one place. So whatever the logic we are writing for validation here, we will put in the component class. But if you are comparing it with the template driven form, in template driven form, our logic is scattered. So some code we write in the template and some code we write in the template class. But here everything is on the one place, so it is easy for testing. Let's understand the model driven form with the help of example. So here I'm using the last sample here. So we have a component named as model form component and we having a model form component HTML. So both are empty here. So let me create a reactive form. So for creating a reactive form, we have to import the form group and the form control from the Angular form module. So just use here import from @Angular/form. Now here we have to import the form group and form control. So now here form group I'm defining here. Let me define the form group. So let's say my form group name is user form : I'm using here form group. This way. Now in the constructor I can define it. So just use here this dot user form equal to new form group. Now in this form group we can define the form control. So just define the form control. I'm defining, let's say, name : new form control. Now define here one more. I'm defining, let's say, for email as well. So it is here, let's say, email and new form control. Oh, the thing is in copy paste I just copied the curly brace as well. So just use here name, then comma, then we have here the email form group. So you can see there is no error because my application already running here. So now this email and the name we can access on the model form component to access it. So let me create a form here. In the form just define the form group. I'm just using here form group, and the form group just define the form group name which we have in the component class. It is here user form. This way. Now I just define a div. I'm defining a div, let's say, for it is here name and email. So I'm defining a div for name. So it will be here input and it will be a type text box. Input type text. Then use here form control name. So it will be here form control name is here and name. This way. Same way we can define for email as well. So I'm defining here for email and the form control name would be here email. Now we just define a submit button so that we can submit this form value in our component class. So I'm defining here input type submit, then value here it is save. So my application is already running here. So if your application not running, just you can run here and serve and then see what the output we are getting here. So our application running here. So let's see what the output we are getting here. So just go to the model driven form. You can see we have the name and the email. And if you want to get like what the value we are getting here, so just do one thing here. Just specify here ng submit. And ng submit, I am just defining a method here. Let's say save data. This is a method. In the save data, just pass the form group. I'm passing here user form. At the save data method we have to define in model component class. So model form component we are defining the save data method this way. And here we can retrieve here, let's say I can retrieve here using form and it will be here ng form, so that we can check the form state. So right now we are not checking the form state. I'm just going to console its value, console.log. It will be at this dot user form dot value. It will show us the value here. So now let's see how we are getting the value here. Now here enter the name. Here I'm entering the name, let's say Shailendra. Email I'm entering here, let's say shailendra@netflix.com. Then save. You can see I'm getting the email, I'm getting the name. So both the things we are getting here. So in this way we have created the form using the model driven style. So in model driven style, what we have done, we have used the form group and the form control. And guys, if you are using the model driven form, make sure you have mentioned the reactive forms module in your app module. If you will not mention this reactive forms module, this will not work. So this one I have already added, so make sure you have added the reactive forms module in the app module. After that you can run your application, otherwise you will get the error. Template driven versus model driven form. Let's see both the types of forms in Angular. Let's see how both these types of forms in Angular are different. So in template driven form, we set up the form using the HTML code. And the model driven form, we set up and configure it in the component class using the form builder, like using the form control. Template driven forms are easy and the suits for the simple form. Model driven form are flexible and suits for the complex form. In template driven, we use two-way data binding. In model driven form, there is no data binding. It is based upon the concept of immutability. It is using the immutable data model. So immutable data model help us in performance as well, because when you will do the change in that input element property, at that time it will be updated, otherwise unnecessary it's not going to be updated. Just like two-way data binding. Automatically track form and input element state in template driven form. Template driven form automatically track form and input element state. In model driven form, it is based upon the reactive transformation. So here it is using the reactive programming that can react to the changes in data across the application. So whatever the form we have initialized in our Angular component class, so in that form input control, if you are doing any change, so that reaction is going to be updated across the application. But if you are not doing any change in the form control, that is not going to be reacted. And here form is passed to the component class via ng-submit, and based upon the past form we can find out the form state, and we can further do the processing on the received data in the component class. In model driven, it is not mandatory to pass the form. Without passing the form, I can access the form group in my component class, because I have already initialized the form group using the component class. So that's why directly we can access it from model driven form class. In case of template driven, the unit testing is complex, because everything we are writing in our template. So whatever the validation logic we have, that entire logic we are writing in our template code. But in case of model driven, the unit testing is easy, because our logic we are going to separate here. So for the unit testing, your UI and the logic should be separated. So in template driven, we can achieve it easily. So that's why unit testing for the model driven form is easy, but unit testing for the template driven form is complex, because here we are not separating the validation logic from the markup. So this is about the differences between the template driven and the model driven form.